The hijacker from Guthrie, the hijacker from the Guthrie was this area here was a super highly hiking area. This is where um, Elon Musk would go for hiking. He was doing enormously a lot of hiking around here. This is Tucson area. This is where Elon Musk fantasized about the Mars, his endless legacies to Mars, and so on. So when it comes to Elon Musk, we're talking about this area here, this thing here, Pima Canyon Trail, that kind of stuff. We're talking about this area here. That's where the sheriff Chris Nanos was assisting. But when it comes to the Guthrie, this should be this area here. I got through internet the address, approximate address of her home, which would be this here. And the hijacker, her hijacker should be located at this location here. This would go right through, like at the end of the street somewhere like that. Like I would say, you have to see this trail here, but this right here is extremely familiar to me. This area right here. Except that, wait a minute, these are very close, nearby her home, basically. Very close. Let me see one more time. Okay. Yeah. I would say, see, the thing is that those homes, it's difficult to see them, but there should be a, yeah, that's actually the one who tutored me about all this stuff was Chris Nanos was the one. He told me this is a billionaire homes. This is not it. So I would be in a wrong location here. Let me see here. There's also a lot of pools here. I also see a lot of pools here. Also considerable amount of wealth. Yeah, but there's a lot of people that have these pools. It's not possible everybody would have their pools, but this poverty, rather, not the wealth, not a wealthy house, but the poverty should be located here somewhere. For me, in my head was, they gestured is just at the end of the street where she was at. Not the end of the street, but like going straight. The only place going straight here in this place would have been this would be the area right here. That's why I kind of am confused a little bit about this here. It says wet work. It should be well, wait a minute. That was not such a small house from this guy that hijacked supposedly Guthrie. This will be like yeah, but I don't see this area here exactly as, you know, as you would, is to me personally, the way I recall this stuff when I consider this stuff here, so I did not even search this area here, but for me personally, it highly reminds me of this area here. for me personally, that house where this guy was, based on what I have seen, that was not any poor house. So for me personally, that would like more remind me of like let's say this house here. Let me demonstrate you. This will be like this house here. Let me demonstrate you this here. It would be like something like this. No. Yeah, something like this. The entrance was not so close to the road. It would be something like this. So this is where supposedly the hijacker from Guthrie was. Yeah, this is where I was. Not this here, but this house here. It would be like this house. So we're gonna take a date and time, that kind of stuff, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna see a little bit about what's going on. So in my opinion, that would more or less be the house of the Guthrie. Yeah, hijacker. These people here, they were all involved in MK everything. Elon Musk was here who knows how many times. I don't get to see this thing here. I don't see this property here. But like I said, it would be on this side of the road. And it would be either this entrance here, or it would have been this here. So, like this here. It would have been one or the other. One of the two. So you can see the address, you can see exactly where we are at. And what we have left now to do is we'll basically take a date and time here. We will take a date and time Los Angeles. We'll take a date and time of Tucson. We're gonna take a date and time of the New York, York, Yahoo.com, like that. We're gonna take some of that stuff here. They're still hallucinating about this stuff. New activity in Nancy Guthrie case on the way, 2 miles from her home. Okay. They say 2 miles from her home. Activity ramps up near her home, Tucson, Arizona. Yeah. So I think that I already pointed you out the house where they had Guthrie. Do they publish the address or anything like that? No. So this is a hijacking which already took place. And in the real world, it just took them half an hour or 1 hour to find this guy. Especially because of the backpack, something like that it had to do. Just like you see. And they told me they're gonna, about 2 weeks, they're gonna make her look missing. To see how the people react. To study the society, that kind of stuff. A little bit paranoia. So, they didn't place anything yet. They say just 2 miles. And so, I demonstrated the house where most likely you're going to see Guthrie was hijacked from to, and let me see something else. There was also about some other area also. This was, these are the properties they demanded for me to see as a location of her hijacking. And there were another property here in the area for which they suggested me. and that one was near wet work, but I doubt it. That was where they tortured me. Where this area is, wet work is where they tortured me a lot. They did not only have, appears to me, only one property available for this crime, but they had more available. So another property would be next to this wet work, where it says, what the fuck is this, logistic service? Interesting. It was something like this, that near wet work would be another area. But you understand that right now, where we're at, we were at this property here. That's where they indicated me. This is where the hijacker would be. But during MK Ultra, I have no idea where it would be, but it would be next to where it says wet work. And next to wet work, another one that would be suitable would be this one here, which is 7058, whatever the hell that is. So they had two properties. So that would be 7058 North Chimney Rock, this one here. This was another property. This was, I think, torture property, this one here. I think, we're also going to check this one here, which is 7112, but this here next to wet work, this would be another location where they supposedly had her. That's what they brainwashed with, and now we're going to see from the road at least something that I get an idea about whether it's got some potential for this thing here to be. Yeah, it's hard to tell. It's very, very hard to tell. This is yet another possibility here, this thing here. Yes, this one or that one. This is, well, let me see this stuff again. Let's see this from from the up thing. So how the hell that will be possible, I do not know. That will be 7058, is that actually 7058 North Chimney Rock. And I yet have to see what is the 7012. But yeah, this here would be it, this one here, which it doesn't make any fucking sense. To me, how the hell would that make sense? I mean, it's look at it. I mean, these are three properties almost next to one another. That doesn't make any fucking sense. This here, I remember the owner of this place here. He had like a beard. This was a gringo Mexican guy, more white guy. This guy here, this guy. Kind of a look like he's sort of a little bit as if you would give a beard to Andy Ruiz. I'm sorry, Andy Ruiz. If you would give Andy Ruiz beard and make one look older, more a beard like this and a little bit more gringo, then this would be this location here with the pool that you see right here. So this guy here at 7058, this should be also of Mexican origins, individual. Yeah, that's the address right there, the one that I gave you. That's it. There are two locations, one or the other. And of the two, I bet on this one here more than on the other. Okay, now we can take a time and date again. So that's like a gringo, more like a gringo, but you know his face is more like of the Andy Ruiz. Somewhat, you know, I'm giving you the idea. As the other guy, the hijacker more look like uh, I think he had a mustaches and he was an older man. Uh, I fuck this now. It looked like to me more like uh, it looked to me more like it would be like it looked to me more like it would be this guy here with the mustaches like this guy has it. But like I said, it would be like here, but it would be like an older man. That's what I'd look like. Clean, clean guy, well trimmed, dressed up, no tattoos or anything like that. I mean, just you know, well dressed up, clean. It would look like something like this guy here, but older guy and with a mustache like this guy here, something like that. Unless those mustaches shaved off, of course. But I already gave you the address, and if that's gonna come through, okay. If it's not gonna come through, I don't want to go and trash the. Yeah, this will go to the area of the Mexican mafia, something in that sense, which should contribute to Donald Trump again more, right? Isn't it Donald Trump is hunting the Latinos? No, he is after the bad guys. He's after the bad guys, mafia. Oh yeah, I completely agree. I don't like mafia myself. I don't give a shit if it's Mexican or is whatever the hell it is. If it's a mafia, it's a mafia. That's a normal. It's understandable. But this is a politic. This is a bullshit politic. So I think that this year is very important actually to take in account, in consideration that this is a total setup. This took place just as I described already on the blog. Possibly took place. What the fuck really goes on? Hey, you can hire mafia also for the political agenda. If you make sure that the gangster that you're gonna catch will walk out through the rear door and you pay good to the organization and stuff like that, that's not a problem to do it. They make exemptions for you if you're a politician that it works good for them. They can do it. Donald Trump was implicated in the mafia. Donald Trump is a shit president. That's a gangster president, actually, that is acting like he is against gangsters. That's not a good president. And he was a gangster. He himself was a gangster. Even if he would not be a gangster, he himself was a gangster. So this guy with the pool is a neighbor. And the property is this one here that you see right here. That's 7058 North Chimney Rock Place. This one here. This is the final one. They were trying to confuse me with the other property, but this is the property. De facto. It's being tested along with several gloves found as far as 10 miles away from the residence. The tail suspect emerged. The FBI described the suspect seen 10 miles. Okay. All right. Nothing, man. They're not releasing this shit yet. Where the fuck is the... where are those pictures? I am gonna upload this stuff on the internet. We're gonna finish this bullshit rama. We finish this. So, there is no such thing like a news yet about the Guthrie. They did not find her. They did not find the perpetrator yet. So, this was I finished this. I finished them off right here, right now. That's it. That's in the middle of the bullshit. It's actually good, I think, because it's a good stuff, because it makes things that much more difficult. They were moving in a certain direction of this investigation, and if you intercept this right before they come out with where the Nancy Guthrie is, as well as mine, you fuck them up. Now let's go, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna upload this. That's what you're watching. That's exactly what you're watching. Let's get this stuff uploaded to the internet. Here's the address of the perpetrator. I was brainwashed to see as hijacker by Mexican mafia. This is a totally 100% backing for Donald Trump. The whole fucking thing is to boost popularity of the Donald Trump. This is a Donald Trump's henchman, this guy here. It's okay. It's alright as long as I get here and I get this stuff done. Let's do it. What they say, you know what they say? They say absolutely Mexican. Well, then in that case, if it's absolutely, right? If it's absolutely Mexican, and I'm not gonna say that the Mexicans are not problem in bordering, especially area with the United States of America, such as Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, California. I'm not saying this because there's plenty of mafia and stuff like this. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying this because it was like, of course. You know, the bottom line is nothing is really of course. At one point in time, this used to be even in Mexico. So I don't like the idea about, it's a prejudice when you say of course what other, right? Of course what other than Mexican and so on. That's not exactly a nice way to put it. I'm going to put it this way. That's not exactly the best way. And this man here, he is waiting for the news to be released. Elon Musk was hiking this entire area. He should be interrogated. And this man that you see right there should also be interrogated in respect to Savannah Guthrie crime. That's a bottom line. As I'm uploading this stuff, I have to say that Chris Nanos stated later on, it was anything later on, that it was somebody completely different, totally other person, and etc., etc., etc. But I'm going to say to Chris Nanos, you don't have any kind of right to steal time from somebody like myself. Attack, basically assault. What became in my case journalism, investigative journalism. Assault, torture, harass, intimidate, traumatize, bestialize individual from European Union, from Europe, even American citizen. You don't have any authority to do that. And then misguide him on location where supposedly the perpetrator was located. You don't have any kind of rights like this. Luckily that I described the residence of two houses. The one with the pool right next to this, 5058, has a family. The other one doesn't have the family. It's a single. So I'm going to use this also as a leverage to demonstrate that you, Chris Nanos, have a very serious problems. What you are doing is not a law enforcement. That goes into the category of the organized crime. Basically organized. It's not crime. It's called a domestic terrorism issues. You have a serious issues here. What you did is very, very, very wrong. It's more than political. It goes into the area of the terrorism. It's hard for me to actually believe that you, as a police officer, you serve a politician to the degree that you get involved in a physical, mental torture, and you end up actually presenting a hijacking case for the sake of the politician, political agenda, as a legitimate, basically using your badge, using your police badge, basically, to advocate issues like this. This is very, very, very bullshit. Yeah, Chris Nanos later on disregarded this stuff and said that it was located like, I don't know, really some 10 kilometers or 14 kilometers or something like that from here, from what from her home, on completely other location. But like I said, I identified two people, two residents over there. I explained for two residents, and yeah, this for me is a proof legitimate enough to post this on the internet. It's equivalent, it is totally equivalent as if I would demonstrate you where and who the hijacker of Annie Guthrie is. It's not okay to do stuff like this, to engage in this is not domestic terrorism. This is international terrorism. Remember, you hijacked me, you traumatized me, you tortured me in an area of Arizona with your colleagues, with your police cameras using private citizens. How the fuck can that be okay? And what you are doing is you then enforced misinformation, knowing that I have my blog, that I have my things, so that you could confuse my readers, so that you could confuse the people, you could confuse police investigators, so that you could confuse law enforcement from United Nations, from Amnesty, from European Union, Europol, Interpol, people who actually watch this stuff, independent journalists, so that you could confuse them. Present my case as not legitimate. You have no, Chris Nanos, you have no fucking authority to do this as a police officer, using your police credential, your police badge to do that stuff. You have no fucking credentials to do that kind of stuff. It goes beyond international terrorism about the stuff you got yourself into. You will be fucked if this is not her address. Even like this, you're in trouble for doing this stuff. That's a mistake. I will go ahead and I'm going to add this recording to the other one, and we're going to add this together, and we're going to make a clip for you. This is like my signing a death sentence for you, my friend. That's a big mistake you did right there.